Episode 56 ES June 1, 2023. The State Farm pulls back from insuring homes in California because of wildfires issue. Residents against wood smoke emission particulates, see rawsepresidents.wordpress.com and click on the nearest right icon for the latest month, June 2023, of PDFs of articles with URLs to search on. To the right of that, End Wood Smoke Jeopardy and End Wood Smoke Monopoly games and a RAWSEP flyer, RAWSEP crosswords, and icon links to 30-minute YouTube videos and Spotify podcasts as well as podcasts on Amazon Music Prime, free for Prime subscribers, podcasts.google.com, Castbox, and Pocket Cast. Pocket Cast is only free on the phone app. Pocket Cast works on Apple phones. And, below those icons, icon links to monthly PDFs of articles with URLs to search on, from May 2023 to May 2022. United States. California. RAWSEP View. The California state government helps Californians stay in their homes amid wildfires, but the biggest home insurance company in California, State Farm, is now refusing to accept new applications for home insurance because of the rapidly growing catastrophic exposure of California homes to wildfires. It is more expensive over time to live in a home without insurance, if eventually wildfires or other wood fires occur nearby and affect the home. Climate shocks are making parts of America uninsurable. It just got worse. https://www.newyorktimes.com/2023/05/31/climate/climate-change-insurance-wildfires-california.html ? Search result #1. The largest insurer in California said it would stop offering new coverage. It's part of a broader trend of companies pulling back from dangerous areas. May 31, 2023. The climate crisis is becoming a financial crisis. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. This month, the largest homeowner insurance company in California, State Farm, announced that it would stop selling coverage to homeowners. That's not just in wildfire zones, but everywhere in the state of California. Insurance companies, tired of losing money, are raising rates, restricting coverage, or pulling out of some areas altogether, making it more expensive for people to live in their homes. Risk has a price. We're just now seeing it, said the former official in charge of insurance at the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and now head of the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety, a research group. Growing catastrophe exposure. State Farm, which insures more homeowners in California than any other company, said it would stop accepting applications for most types of new insurance policies in the state because of rapidly growing catastrophe exposure. The company said that while it recognized the work of California officials to reduce losses from wildfires, it had to stop writing new policies to improve the company's financial strength. A State Farm spokesman did not respond to a request for comment. Insurance rates in California jumped after wildfires became more devastating than anyone had anticipated. A series of fires that broke out in 2017, many ignited by sparks from failing utility equipment, exploded in size with the effects of climate change. Some homeowners lost their insurance entirely because insurers refused to cover homes in vulnerable areas. A California government official highlighted the Safer from Wildfires initiative and noted that state lawmakers are also working to control development in the areas at highest risk of burning. But, a research economist with the Scripps Institution of Oceanography at the University of California, San Diego, who has studied the costs of natural disasters, said that allowing people to live in homes that are becoming uninsurable or prohibitively expensive to insure was unsustainable. He said that policymakers must seriously consider buying properties that are at greatest risk, or otherwise moving residents out of the most dangerous communities. If we let the market sort it out, we have insurers refusing to write new policies in certain areas, he said. We're not sure how that's in anyone's best interest other than insurers. Government-mandated programs, like flood insurance plans, in states other than California, or citizens in Florida and Louisiana, were meant to be a backstop to the private market. But as climate shocks get worse, we're now at the point where that's starting to crack. Colorado. Canada wildfire smoke brought the worst air quality of the year in Colorado. Here's CBS News. CBS News. Fine particulate matter is so small, it's thinner than a strand of the highest amount of fine particulate matter pollution, called PM 2.5. Wildfire smoke and your health, what are you breathing? L'Orange Now. L'Orange Now. May 29, 2023. Is managed by reading the particulate matter and in the case of wildfire smoke, fine particulate matter, PM 2.5. Wildfires are here, a toxicologist explains how to protect yourself inverse. Inverse. Exposure to PM 2.5 from smoke or other air pollution can exacerbate. Being exposed to wood smoke won't independently cause someone to have a. Colorado, Denver. Denver has some of the worst air quality in the world. New research is showing how that's. KGNU News. One is called PM 2.5 and those are fairly large particles that you breathe in. But, what turns out to be the real bad guys in all this are the Maine. Thinking things through, relishing reading outside on the porch, Morning Sentinel. Morning Sentinel. Although I appreciate the comforts of reading in front of a wood-burning stove in January, I still prefer the joy of pursuing my favorite hobby in May 31, 2023. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Although I appreciate the comforts of reading in front of a wood-burning stove in January, I still prefer the joy of pursuing my favorite hobby in summer. Luckily, my porch is only a few steps away. New England. Canadian wildfires spark air quality advisory for parts of New England on May 31, 2023. Environmental Protection Agency. Hazy skies, reduced visibility, and the odor of burning wood is very likely as the smoke plumes are transported over the region. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, News Releases, Region 01. Canadian wildfires spark air quality advisory for parts of New England on May 31, 2023. May 31, 2023. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Boston, May 31, 2023. New England state air quality forecasters are predicting elevated concentrations of fine particle air pollution due to wildfires in central and southern Nova Scotia. Areas predicted to reach the moderate 24-hour particle pollution level concentrations on May 31 are Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island. Refer to EPA New England's AQI Air Quality Index for current air quality conditions and forecasts across New England. While there could be a few hours with higher levels of particle pollution, it is expected that the 24-hour average will not rise above the moderate range on the Air Quality Index. The odor of burning wood is very likely. When significant smoke is in your area, people with pre-existing medical conditions remain indoors with windows closed while circulating indoor air with a fan or air conditioner. Fine PM 2.5 particle pollution can affect both your lungs and heart, which cause breathing problems, aggravate asthma, and other pre-existing lung diseases, and people should refrain from strenuous outdoor activity. Real-time particulate matter data New England Air Quality Index National Real-Time Air Quality Data, free iPhone and Android apps, and AirNow Air Quality Alerts EnviroFlash. New Jersey. What is a code orange alert? What you need to know about today's air quality in NJ. NorthJersey.com. Small particles from burning wood will cause an orange alert for most of New Jersey, according to a forecast from the State Department of. What is a code orange alert? What you need to know about today's air quality in NJ. NorthJersey.com. May 31, 2023. Air quality is expected to take a dive Wednesday in North Jersey and the New York metropolitan region as more smoke from Nova Scotia wildfires is expected to inundate the region. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Small particles from burning wood will cause an orange alert for most of New Jersey, according to a forecast from the New Jersey State Department of Environmental Protection. Young children, the elderly, and those with lung conditions such as asthma and emphysema are advised to stay indoors. Wednesday will likely be the worst day of the week. Air quality will improve Thursday. A raging wildfire outside Halifax, Nova Scotia, about 600 miles away from North Jersey has burned through 2,000 acres of forest and damaged at least 200 homes and businesses. The fire was expected to spread on Wednesday, according to the Canadian Broadcast Corporation. Smoke arrived in the region Tuesday afternoon. The plume was so dense that some residents in New England reported the air smelled like a campfire. The soot from the Nova Scotia fires is called particulate matter, an extremely small piece of burnt material that used to cause problems in New Jersey from coal-fired power plants and old diesel engines, but abated in recent years. This is the second time in 2 weeks that smoke from a Canadian wildfire has entered New Jersey's air. The first round came on May 22 when smoke from wildfires in Alberta traveled 2,600 miles across the continent. But that smoke was confined to the mid and upper atmosphere and did not affect air quality. In May, lack of rain and humidity helped cause wildfires in New Jersey from Passaic County in the north to Gloucester County in the south. Pennsylvania. Amish families have figured out an ingenious way to dry clothes without household. MSN. They may hang clotheslines out of the way in the basement or arrange drying racks over wood-burning stoves. One popular item in Amish communities. Pa man electrocuted while utilizing high-voltage wood-burning process. Coroner, PennLive.com. PennLive. Fractal burning creates natural-looking patterns by applying electrical current from a high-voltage source across chemically treated wood items. The 43-year-old man dead after wood-burning incident. News, NorthCentralPA.com. NorthCentralPA.com. Sechrist was woodworking utilizing a wood-burning technique that involves electrical current known as fractal wood burning, according to the Fractal accident kills 43-year-old Pennsylvania man Woodworking Network. Woodworking Network. A Lycoming County man was pronounced dead Tuesday morning after an apparent electrocution while he attempted to burn designs into wood using. Man dies after being electrocuted during woodworking incident. Wolf, Fox 56. Fox 56. Officials say Sechrist was using a wood-burning technique that involves electricity, known as fractal wood burning. Ralston area man electrocuted in garage. News, Sports, Jobs, Williamsport Sun-Gazette. Williamsport Sun-Gazette. Kiesling discourages anyone from practicing this technique, known as fractal wood burning, in which an individual uses high-voltage electricity. Man dies after electrocuting himself. Eyewitness News, PAHomepage.com. Rhode Island. Smoke from fires in Nova Scotia flows into southern New England. The Providence Journal. The Providence Journal. If smoke is reaching the ground, you will smell wood burning and notice reduced visibility and haze, the press release said. Wildfire smoke from Nova Scotia drops air quality across Northeast WJAR. JAR. Smoke in the lower levels, where we live and breathe, impacts us more, and we may even smell a wood-burning odor throughout the day. Nova Scotia wildfire smoke worsens air quality, Tuesday, WJAR. JAR. You may even smell some wood-burning odors being transported to us, and visibility may drop slightly due to the hazy conditions. Halifax area wildfire has left visible scars on the community, official says, CBC News. CBC. These people are already struggling to breathe, so you add the wood fire smoke into the air and it can really cause exacerbations with their. Rhode Island. Smoke from fires in Canada spreads into southern New England. Smoke from Canadian fires flows into southern New England, could reduce visibility, damage air quality. The Providence Journal. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Smoke from fires in Nova Scotia worked its way into southern New England on Tuesday, and some people were advised to stay inside since the smoke could trigger breathing problems. For certain groups at risk for exposure to poor air quality, such as people with previously existing medical conditions, it is recommended to remain indoors with windows closed during the time significant smoke is affecting your area, the Rhode Island State Department of Environmental Management, DEM, and Department of Health and the American Lung Association said in a joint news release. The smoke was expected in Rhode Island between 10:30 a.m. until sunset and possibly into tonight. The smoke was flowing over Cape Cod by about 8:30 Tuesday morning and was expected to spread north and west by Tuesday afternoon, the Weather Service said. It was unclear how much of the smoke would reach the ground, but the Rhode Island DEM said it could cause several hours of poor air quality. Texas. How the wind became woke. https://www.newyorktimes.com/2023/05/30/world/europe/germany-climate-campaign_id. May 30, 2023. Opinion columnist. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Over the past 15 years, technological progress has made it cheaper to generate electricity from solar and wind power than by burning fossil fuels. The Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA, which is mainly a climate bill, aims to accelerate the transition to renewables and also to electrify as much of the economy as possible. Even before the IRA started to take effect, America was experiencing a renewable energy boom. And the boom has been led by a surprising place, Texas. Here's a map showing renewable electricity generation other than hydroelectric by state. Darker means more generation. Texas is in the lead. California has more solar power, and a lot of geothermal electricity, too. But Texas dominates in wind power. California is a state where NIMBYism sometimes seems to slide into banana territory, as in build absolutely nothing anywhere near anyone. That's why housing is so scarce and expensive, and red tape has snarled green energy. You might think that Texas politicians would be celebrating the Texas wind renewables boom, which is an advertisement for the state's previous renewables policies. But Republicans in the Texas legislature have turned hard against renewable energy, with a raft of proposed measures that would subsidize fossil fuels, impose restrictions that might block many renewable energy projects, and maybe even shut down many existing facilities. The current legislation favors fossil fuels over a wind industry that reflects Texas's energy future. Why do Texas Republicans now see the wind as an enemy? You might think that the answer is greed. But the bigger picture is that renewable energy has become a victim of the anti-woke mind virus. The Republican Party hates anything it considers woke. Woke to them means being against social injustice. Woke means suggesting that people should make sacrifices, or even accept mild inconvenience, in the name of the public good. So, there's rage against the idea that people should wear masks during a pandemic to protect others or cut down on activities that harm the environment. The now classic example is the way hostility to mask mandates, which were mainly about protecting others, turned into highly partisan opposition to COVID vaccination, which is mainly about protecting yourself. The same thing applies to energy policy. At this point, investing in renewable energy is simply a good business proposition. Texas Republicans have had to abandon their own free market, anti-regulation ideology in the effort to strangle wind and solar power. But renewable energy is something environmentalists favor, and it's being promoted by the Biden administration. So, in the minds of Texas right-wingers, the wind has become woke, and wind power has become something to be fought even if it hurts business and costs the state both money and jobs. How renewables became so cheap. Really, really cheap. Spillovers from COVID-19 politicization. Why Trump hates wind turbines. Texas, Houston. ROSEP view. Since 2019, many hyperlocalized PM2.5 monitors are installed at Texas homes neighboring polluting industrial facilities such as concrete plants. The PM2.5 monitors, often Purple Air PM2.5 monitors, alert homeowners or community organizations who then alert city health departments such as the Chief Environmental Science Officer at the Houston, Texas, Health Department. Regulatory PM2.5 monitors are then installed at locations closer to the plant suspected of pollution. Then enforcement such as pulling permits for the polluter can be made under the laws of the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, TCEQ. There are analogies of this system of regulation with the aims of ROSEP. Residential wood smoke pollution is also hyperlocalized, and detection showing exceedance of PM2.5 safe limits requires many PM2.5 monitors to detect all residential wood burning pollution affecting near neighbors' health and lives. If there were a federal procedure for local Purple Air PM2.5 monitoring to be used to alert health departments, and then a federal procedure for health departments to take actions to enforce regulation of pollution, residential wood smoke polluters could be shut down, one by one if necessary. We had no way of verifying it. Houston residents install their own air monitors to hold. Houston Public Media. They monitor for tiny particles called PM2.5 that can enter the lungs and bloodstream, causing serious health impacts like worsening asthma and. We had no way of verifying it. Houston residents install their own air monitors to hold polluters accountable. To get their own data on what they're breathing, community groups have been installing air monitors over the past several years, building out a vast network across the region. May 30, 2023. Excerpts edited by ROSEP for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Pleasantville, a majority Black community in Northeast Houston, was one of the first neighborhoods to install their own air monitors back in 2019. The founder of the community-based group Achieving Community Tasks Successfully, ACTS, led the effort to install the monitors. Now, she checks the monitors and lets residents know through social media if it's a bad day to be outside. They monitor for tiny particles called PM2.5 that can enter the lungs and bloodstream, causing serious health impacts like worsening asthma and heart disease. Houston's low-income communities of color are near neighbors to heavy polluters. Past reports show facilities regularly emit more than they're permitted for. To get their own data on what they're breathing, community groups have been installing their own air monitors over the past several years, building out a vast network across the region. Residents want to use this data to hold state regulators and polluters accountable and to make better decisions about their health. The air monitors are helpful for both daily notifications of spikes in pollution as well as longer-term analysis. A few months ago, for example, pollution was blowing in from a fire in Dallas. Our monitors were showing how high the PM2.5 was before the city of Houston even put out the alert, she said. Community air monitors display the data on easy-to-read maps that residents can pull up on their phones. They also analyze the data for longer-term trends related to PM2.5 pollution. Those results help them get the state environmental agency, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, TCEQ, to approve installing an official regulatory-grade monitor in Pleasantville, which can be used for enforcement. "We will have better access to federally regulated information," she said. "And it's considered actionable, versus the information that we collect. They normally would not consider it actionable, but maybe further investigation. That further investigation is where the county or city of Houston can come in," according to the chief environmental science officer at the Houston Health Department. "We just don't have enough monitors to cover the city, and they're very expensive," she said. "If we spent all of our money on monitors, then we wouldn't have any of the funds to work on the solution, which is enforcement of the permits." She said community air monitors can help fill in those gaps. One difficulty with air monitoring in Houston is that because of the lack of zoning, polluters like concrete batch plants are often tucked into neighborhoods, making it difficult to capture their impact on surrounding homes with the existing official monitors that are spaced much further apart. They are hyperlocal pollutants. You could have concentrations of pollutants that fall off within like a half-mile from that source, and so the only way to really get a handle on what is going on in a community is to have more monitors. The impact of these smaller-scale polluters on communities is something that also stands out to the research and policy coordinator from the nonprofit Air Alliance Houston. He's been analyzing data from the past year in 5 different communities where Air Alliance Houston has set up monitoring networks. They found that several communities had pollution levels that were above federal standards. Photo of Air Alliance Houston installing a purple air monitor at a home in Jacinto City, Wisconsin. Slinger. Rosette view: a fallen tree can be turned into usable garden soil if the wood chips are treated with fertilizer, or other methods of breaking down the wood chips, over a period of 2 to 4 years, producing a product that is not flammable like wood chips, mulch. Slinger fire: body camera video shows response at Oak Creek Wood Products. Yahoo News. To the massive fire at Oak Creek Wood Products in Slinger that started in a mulch pile. Smoke concerns follow Oak Creek Wood Products fire. Slinger fire: body camera video shows response at Oak Creek Wood Products. Witty. May 30, 2023. Canada, Alberta. Rosette view: Rachel Notley, Liberal of Alberta. Canada will not become Alberta's premier, but Notley's party, the New Democratic Party or NDP, gained 11 seats in the state legislature. The NDP will have 35 seats and the United Conservatives Party, UCP, will have 52 seats in the Alberta legislature, with representation now 40% NDP, 60% UCP. Canada's oil and gas production, which is largely based in Alberta, accounts for 28% of the country's carbon emissions. Prime Minister Trudeau has said that the federal government will enact caps on the oil and gas sector's emissions. Alberta Premier Smith, on Tuesday morning, called the plan a de facto cap on production and promised to block the measure. Oil and gas emissions in Alberta contribute to climate change and to an increase in wildfires. The latest Alberta wildfires briefly shut down production in Alberta's oil and gas sectors. https://www.newyorktimes.com/2023/05/30/world/americas/alberta-canada-conservative-election.html?campaign_ID. After a hard right turn, Alberta's Conservatives retain power. But the United Conservative Party will hold substantially fewer seats in the legislature, in an apparent rebuff of the politics of its outspoken leader. May 30, 2023. Excerpts edited by Rosep for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Voters in Alberta, the oil-rich Western Canadian province, kept its Conservative government in power on May 29, 2023, but substantially reduced the number of seats it holds in the legislature. Early Tuesday morning, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith and the United Conservatives Party, UCP, had been elected in 52 electoral constituencies, down from the 63 it held before the vote. It will be the slimmest margin of victory in Alberta's history. The UCP were strongest in rural areas. The New Democratic Party, NDP, led by Rachel Notley, a lawyer and former premier, had a strong showing in Edmonton, the provincial capital and one of the most left-leaning parts of the province, as well as Calgary, the largest city, which generally supports the Conservatives. As of early Tuesday, the NDP, a left-of-centre party co-founded by Organised Labour, had been elected in 35 electoral districts, a gain of 11 seats. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, leader of the UCP, rejected planned federal limits on the energy industry's carbon emissions, saying that they would not be inflicted on Alberta. Ms. Smith's victory will be a challenge for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. One of her first acts as Alberta Premier was to introduce legislation that she said would allow the province to refuse to enforce federal laws, a measure that many legal experts believe to be unconstitutional. Under the UCP, the future of Alberta's carbon tax and other climate change measures may be in jeopardy. When the NDP held power in Alberta from 2015 to 2019, after an unprecedented victory that resulted from a fracturing of the Conservatives into two parties, Ms. Notley agreed to introduce carbon taxes in exchange for Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau's government purchasing an oil pipeline to the Pacific coast to ensure its expansion. The NDP's win in 2015 broke a string of Conservative governments in Alberta dating to the Great Depression in the 1930s. But Ms. Notley's 2015 victory coincided with a collapse in oil prices that cratered Alberta's economy, sending the NDP's approval rating spiraling. Rachel Notley said she would continue as NDP leader. Although we did not achieve the result we wanted, we did achieve a major step toward it, Notley told supporters. Australia, Queensland. Burn-off blues, Brisbane battles smoke blanket beneath sunny skies in Queensland. In Queensland, the Lung Foundation said if a person is affected by wood smoke, they should avoid physical activity outdoors while smoke is in the area. Consider. New Zealand, South Auckland. South Auckland scrapyard fire, toxic smoke, what you need to know. NZ Herald. NZ Herald. For example, even wood smoke has a dozen or more known carcinogens in it and hundreds of other organic compounds of undecided or unknown toxicity. United Kingdom, Drax. Ofgem to investigate Drax compliance with biomass reporting rules. The Guardian. The Guardian. Drax is facing an investigation by the energy regulator into the sustainability of the biomass it uses at its wood-burning power plant amid Ofgem to investigate Drax compliance with biomass reporting rules. Regulator expected to examine whether sustainability reports on sourcing of wood pellets meet renewables subsidy criteria. May 31, 2023. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. The energy regulator, Ofgem, will investigate if Drax, Britain's biggest power plant, located in North Yorkshire, which generates 6% of the UK's electricity, was in breach of the reporting rules required for its renewable energy subsidy scheme. Ofgem will investigate the accuracy of the energy company's sustainability reports relating to the sourcing of its wood pellets, 80% of which are imported from forests in the US and Canada. The FTSE 250 company's share price tumbled by about 6% to 5.53p after the regulator announced the investigation on Wednesday morning. Ofgem opened the enforcement case after its investigations into the company's sustainability reports and the controls it has put in place to guarantee its green claims. Ofgem stands ready to act if appropriate. Drax has received billions in renewable energy subsidies for its biomass electricity while facing growing criticism over its carbon-neutral claims and deepening skepticism over the sustainability of burning imported wood to generate electricity. In 2022, Kwasi Kwarteng, the business and energy secretary at the time, told a private meeting of MPs that Drax importing wood to burn in its power station was not sustainable and doesn't make any sense. In a recording of the meeting, Cording also admitted, "We haven't actually questioned some of the sustainability premises of it." Action was taken to oust Drax from an investment index of clean energy companies in 2021 as doubts over the sustainability of its plant mounted within the financial sector. Experts believe there are poor practices regarding the sources of wood and forest management in some parts of the timber industry. Germany. https://www.newyorktimes.com/2023/05/30/world/europe/germany-climate-coalition.html search result position =4. Rosep view, the designation renewable should not include industrial wood burning and residential wood burning, if climate goals are to be met in reality and not just on paper. Excerpts edited by Rosep for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. 3 parties in Germany are publicly arguing over a bill with the aim of reducing fossil fuel emissions from heaters in homes and other buildings. A draft law aims to have newly installed heating systems run on at least 65% renewable energy, starting in 2024. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz's party, the Social Democrat Party's main argument for the bill is that fossil fuel prices will rise, and this bill will in the long run keep consumers' cost of home heating down. The Green Party's main argument for the bill is that, since buildings are responsible for 15% of the country's overall carbon emissions, this bill will help Germany meet its climate goals. The Green Party also argues, supported by climate experts and scientists, that changes to personal habits are urgently needed. The Free Democrats Party fears being temporarily disadvantaged, and that temporary fear has unfortunately overridden a more important long-term reality, said the spokeswoman for climate and energy politics for Olaf Scholz's party, the Social Democrats. The Social Democrat woman said it's a false security to believe that if you keep everything the way it is, that it will be safe. We learned last year, when natural gas from Russia was cut off, what that means. The conservative Free Democrats Party has pulled support from the bill at the last minute. One explanation of a conservative emotional response to the bill was suggested by a woman researcher in energy efficiency with Environmental Action Germany, a non-profit advocacy group, who said this is the first time that climate protection is reaching people in their private lives. It is so emotional, because it has to do with people's homes. https://www.newyorktimes.com/2023/05/30/world/europe/germany-climate-coalition.html?campaign_ID May 30, 2023. Ugly fight over climate bill exposes cracks in German coalition. Tensions in the 3-party government have built for months. But the latest sniping is unusually fierce, raising fresh questions of dysfunction. Africa. Tanzania. Projects open for public comment, May 29, 2023. Bara. Hechu afforestation project in Anhui province, closes June 21. Installation of high-efficiency wood-burning cookstoves in Tanzania, project. Asia. China. Contribution of local and surrounding anthropogenic emissions to a particulate matter, nature. The area northeast of Zhengzhou had the lowest contributions to the PM2.5 concentrations in Zhengzhou, 5.96%. Contribution of local and surrounding anthropogenic emissions to a particulate matter pollution episode in Zhengzhou, Hunan, China. Scientific Reports Volume 13, Article Number 8771, 2023. Excerpts edited by Rosep for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. In this study, we simulated the spatial and temporal processes of a particulate matter, p.m. pollution episode from December 10 to 29, 2019, in Zhengzhou, the provincial capital of Hunan, China, which has a large population and severe PM2.5 pollution. As winter is the high incidence period of particulate pollution, winter statistical data were selected from the pollutant observation stations in the study area. We found that the anthropogenic emissions south of Zhengzhou were the main causes of high PM2.5 concentrations during the studied episode, with contribution rates of 14.39% to PM2.5 concentrations. The contributions of anthropogenic emissions from Zhengzhou to the PM2.5 concentrations in Zhengzhou were 7.94%. The contributions of anthropogenic emissions from the area northeast of Zhengzhou to the PM2.5 concentrations in Zhengzhou were 7.42%. China and Thailand collaboration. Chiang Rai tackles severe PM2.5 with China-Thai collaboration on air pollution. Thaiger. Thai and Chinese experts collaborate to address Chiang Rai's PM2.5 pollution and smog, providing sustainable solutions. India, Bangalore. The Last Breath Bangalore Mirror. Bangalore Mirror. High levels of particulate matter, PM2.5 and PM10, in the atmosphere claimed approximately 80,000 lives in Bengaluru in 2019, says a recent study shows around 80,000 people died in Bengaluru in 2019. India, Delhi. During the 8 years period from 2016 to 2023, January, May, Delhi registers its best air. Press Information Bureau. In terms of daily average PM2.5 concentration levels, 2023 has seen the lowest levels of daily average PM2.5 concentration, as compared to the rain effect. Delhi's average max temp in May lowest since 1987, The Indian Express. The Indian Express. Data shared by the Commission for Air Quality Management, CAQM, also shows that the running average PM10 and PM2.5 levels from January to May